followers of the Pioneer. I hope you're healthy and happy. We, the Pioneer team, continue to bring you the latest developments in Russia-Ukraine war. Today we're going to announce a very important development. The Crimean peninsula is undoubtedly one of the most critical issues in the Russia-Ukraine war. So no matter what happens, every event on the peninsula is of a great importance. And it is as if the Crimean peninsula is a potential bomb ready to explode, drawing the attention of all sides. However, the Crimean peninsula has become a region full of explosions, not only figuratively, but also literally. In particular, the Kerch bridge is the most obvious evidence of this. As we've predicted in our previous reports, the Crimean peninsula will soon become the scene of major events, and there were also various claims that the Ukrainian armed forces would target the Kerch bridge, which connects the Crimean peninsula to the Russian mainland. But have these allegations come true? Let's take a closer look at this issue together. But before moving on to our report, I would like to make a small reminder. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Let's start if you are ready, the Pioneer reports. So, the Crimean Peninsula is known for being in a strategic region, considered the Pearl of the Black Sea. Under the sovereignty of Ukraine, its importance has increased with the invasion in 2014 and the conflicts that followed. In recent days, Crimea has been witnessing a tense times. According to the information obtained from the sources in the region, there is intense activity in Crimea. The Ukrainian armed forces have recently carried out a series of attacks and operations against the Russian military bases in Crimea. However, these attacks are not limited to the Ukrainian military power. Partisans and sabotage groups are also reportedly carrying out serious attacks in the region. So, to understand this situation, however, it is necessary to look not only at Ukraine's actions, but also at Russia's prolonged occupation of Crimea. Russia has occupied Crimea for almost a decade without achieving the desired results, and the Crimean population has shown no loyalty to the Russian rule, and Russia's assimilation policies have not had the desired effect. So this has resulted in the continuous losses for the Russian armed forces. In recent days, Russia has been in a state of great anxiety, and the country's leadership is in a panic over the security of the Kerch bridge. The panic leads to the constant mistakes by the Russian leadership and the war leadership. The defense capability of the Russian armed forces has been severely reduced on the Crimean peninsula, and this has led to the maximization of security measures in the region and the search for alternatives to the Kerch bridge. In recent days, it has been announced that the railroad line presented as one of these alternatives is ready. However, according to these claims, this appears to be just a propaganda tactic. The Russian leadership seems to want to do everything to protect the Kerch bridge and therefore may be trying to distract Ukraine. However, according to reports, Ukraine realized this tactic and carried out a massive attack on the Kerch bridge. A new explosion on the Kerch bridge, which connects the Crimean peninsula to the Russian mainland, has increased tensions in the region, and according to reports in recent days. So, according to the regional sources, better to say, the explosion was not caused by a missile or drone strike, but the detonation of a planted bomb. According to the local sources, Ukrainian partisans advanced at night to a point quite close to the Kerch bridge and planted several TNT bombs there. So, fortunately, the explosion of the TNT bombs did not cause any damage to the bridge, but the explosions caused serious concerns. A great panic broke out in the Russian Regional Command, and the Russian armed forces increased security measures around the Kerch bridge. The bridge was temporarily closed to traffic, but has now been reopened, but the process is being kept under control, and the Russian armed forces are on alert and constantly monitoring the situation. In the past few days, rumors that Ukrainian armed forces might target the Kerch bridge have added to the panic, and the Russian authorities, under the influence of these statements, thought that the alleged attack might take place, and panic escalated. So at the beginning of the war, Russia suffered a major blow with the explosions of the Kerch bridge, and this happened in 2022 when the bridge was blown up by the Ukrainian partisans. However, more recently, emerging details offer a deeper insight into this attack. According to the reports, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky collaborated with a group led by the head of the Ukrainian Security Service, Vasyl Maliuk, to destroy the bridge. The allegations are as follows. So, at an unspecified time, but no later than August 2022, possibly on the Ukrainian territory, members of the group produced a high explosives, improvised explosives device with a capacity of about 10 tons of TNT, usually industrially produced components. A hidden detonator was triggered by the GPS signal at a moment of passing a predetermined route point. So the explosions caused two spans of the bridge to collapse and resulting in a damage of 17 freight train tank cars. So this attack on the Russian side caused serious trauma, and as a result of this trauma, there is a great anxiety and panic whenever anything related to the Crimean peninsula comes up. Recently, there has been a growing concern among the Russian bloggers, and Russian bloggers are very concerned about the possible attack on the Crimea by the Ukrainian armed forces. On May 7th, the inauguration of Vladimir Putin, who was elected president of the Russian Federation after recent elections, will take place, and the possibility of a Ukrainian attack before this ceremony is quite high. Russian bloggers who make statements on this subject use the following statements on the subject. Given the Ukrainian authorities and curators' love for the symbolism, it is likely that the target may once again be the Crimean Bridge, which has once again attracted a lot of attention. We believe that an attack on the Kerch Bridge, Strait Bridge, could take place before President Vladimir Putin's inauguration on May 7th. And the vigilance of the air defense system should be increased. If necessary, more air defense batteries should be placed around the Crimean Peninsula. The destruction of the bridge will be a big problem. In this case, we may face irreparable damage, and the railroad line is not enough. Measures must be taken to ensure that the Russian presence on the Crimean Peninsula is not jeopardized. So, as it is obvious, panic is high and the breaths are held. All eyes are on the May 7th. And let's see if the Ukrainian armed forces will really hit the Kerch Bridge on May 7th. So, what do you think? What do you think is the probability that the Ukrainian armed forces will hit the Kerch Bridge? And what consequences could a strike on the Kerch Bridge have? How do you assess the recent explosions? And what is the capability of the Ukrainian armed forces to hit the Kerch Bridge? And what would be the Russia's reaction if Ukraine makes such a moves? And what resources do you think Ukraine has to carry out such an attack? Let me know in the comments, because you know that I read and I care a lot about all of your comments.